Happy Friday, beloveds. A little bit of history and a lot of bit of inspiration for your day. Do you know where our symbol, the chalice, comes from? Some of you, I bet, do know. It is a response, really, to the refugee crisis created by the rise of the Nazi Party and the Holocaust. Prior to the U.S. entry into World War II, there were American Unitarians who had been hearing reports about persecution of Jews and others and the dangers of the Nazi Party. So they traveled to Europe and indeed found that what they had heard was true and that things were far worse. They came back to the U.S. and formed the Unitarian Service Committee, which was primarily a refugee response agency. The chalice became the symbol that was stamped on passports, that was worn on coats, and really was a pledge, a promise to help refugees throughout Europe get to safety. They brought that symbol home with them after the war had ended, and today it endures as the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. When we kindle it, it is a renewal of our promise to answer love's call in all the ways in which we are called to respond in our world today. We are a living faith, and this symbol continues to speak to us this day. We are deepening our commitment with the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, and I want to invite you to be part of it. We're going to participate this year in a program called Guest at Your Table. You'll hear a little bit more about that program in a moment from a video. And we're going to have Reverend Mary Katherine Morn with us on November 13th for both of our services and for an hour-long program following the second service. And don't worry, we'll feed you lunch too, to learn about how we as Unitarian Universalists can be part of defending human rights around the world, from the Pacific Islands to Haiti, to many calls, and what is our role as Americans and as UUs in this moment. I hope that you'll be able to join us and participate in Guest at Your Table. Happy Friday.
Did you know that Unitarian Universalists have been coming together for decades to support human rights through the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee's Guest at Your Table program? During this special program, UUs of all ages learn more about important issues and the groups, or partner organizations, UUSC works together with to advance human rights. Working with community-based groups like UUSC Partners is a great way to get help directly to folks after disasters like a hurricane, and helps make sure the needs that are most important to communities are being met. UUSC works with more than 50 partner organizations around the globe, together responding to humanitarian crises, gender-based violence, persecution of activists, climate change, and more. Guest at Your Table is a chance to get to know our partners and these issues better through learning the stories of 4 people connected to UUSC Partners as if we were sharing a meal together. They are the guests in Guest at Your Table. After getting to know the guests, UUs spread the word about human rights and raise much-needed funds for UUSC Partners. From supporting youth leadership trainings to amplifying their voices to world leaders, to buying needed supplies after a natural disaster, our partners request our help with all sorts of projects that make a difference in their communities. Through Guest at Your Table, Unitarian Universalists form a mighty web that helps support UUSC partners in their important work. Thank you for helping keep this important tradition going strong and joining us in the Guest at Your Table program.